everybody. I'm actually going to let you see me make a swirled soap. I don't know how this is going to come out. It's actually a new recipe for me. I want to make sure that it stays liquid enough so that I can do a really cool swirl. These are my oils. I have a lot of soft oils in here so that it will stay liquid longer. And then in here I have my lye water, and I've been waiting for my lye water to cool down. When you mix lye with water, it usually heats up to about 190 or 200 degrees. So that's been sitting. Right now it's at about 113. My oils are 104, so they're within 10 degrees of each other, which is really a good time to work with it. I'm going to put a little bit of sodium lactate in with my lye, probably about a teaspoonful. This will help my soap later on to harden up. So mix that up a little bit. I have my fragrance here. It's actually called Thousand Wishes. Absolutely love the smell of that. So we will be adding our lye to our oils, and what that will do is it will start to emulsify, and that's really what makes soap, is when lye goes in. So let me get a spatula here. I also have, once this is mixed, I have all my colors, and I'm really hoping this works. I have some white and some really pretty pink, and then I have a lavender and I have a gray, and I'm hoping to get a really great swirl out of this. But for right now, we're going to put it right aside, and I am going to be blending this up with a stick blender. This is a little bit loud, so if I have to, I will try to get that out of the video, but I'm kind of a video newbie, so you'll have to bear with me. So what I'm going to do is get this out of the way. I am very gently, and let me see if I turn this way, going to take the stick blender, and usually air will get trapped in here. So if you bang the stick blender, the air comes out of it, because we don't want to be whipping air into our soap. Then I'm going to take my lye water, put my spoon in a glass safe, and I'm going to very, very slowly pour it down the stick blender. And I have protective clothing on, gloves, I have eye protection on that you can't see. But we're going to pour this in slow so we don't get any bubbles in there. Oops. Yep, we're going to pour it in slow. And then I'm going to make sure that this bucket gets put far enough out of the way that I cannot bump it over. So once I zhuzh this a little bit with the stick blender, you'll see that the oils and the lye will blend together. And this is emulsifying it all together. Let me see if I can hit this on high. I don't want to go too far into it. I just want to make sure it's completely mixed. But if I continue to mix it, this is going to get thick, and I'm not going to be able to pour it into my mold and get it to do the color swirls that I want. But if I don't mix it enough, there will be rivers in the soap, and you'll be able to see them. And it won't make a pretty soap. Alright, so what we're trying to achieve is a light trace. And a trace is basically when I dribble this on the top of the soap, that you can see a small trail. So we're not quite at light trace yet. So let me hit it a couple more times here. it's getting there. It's just about light trace. I don't dare go any further, she says as she hits it one more time. I'm going to say that this is good. But I'm not going to put this too far away because I'm going to want to just zhuzh very lightly my colors. And before I do that, I want to put my fragrance oil in here. I'm going to wait and put the fragrance oil in. A lot of the time the fragrance oil will speed it up and it'll get thicker. This is the mold that I'm going to be using. I'm very lucky that I have a son-in-law that, fiddle with this, that was able to alter this, and this is what I call a tall skinny mold. So the bars, actually this will be the top of the bars, and there'll be a taller skinnier bar than the short fat ones. So here's my color. It's mica. The colors that I use, let me get you some names here. So these are micas from Woods Goodies. Absolutely love her micas. They're so bright. But this is amethyst. And then the pink on the end here is actually from Nurture Soap, raspberry red mica. This is another Woods Goodies. This is Grandma's Gray. And then I've got titanium dioxide in here, which I need to be careful of because I think it's part of the reason that my soaps are getting really thick. But these are going to be the 4 soaps. So I'm going to get these sticks out of the way. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of this into each and mix it up. My oils are still very warm. I feel them. I'm just going to eyeball this here. And welcome to my world of making the biggest mess that I possibly can. Which seems to be my MO. And then the purple. We good, we're even. Probably the piece that I poured on the counter. I want to make sure that I scrape these out because I don't want to waste any of this goodness. Awesome. All right, let me put this out of the way. Try to keep as clean as possible here, so let me lift this up a little bit. You do realize that if I spill all of this and make a mess, I probably will still show this video because, you know, my peoples will understand. So let me see if you can see that. Perfect. So I'm going to hand mix this right now because the more I hit it with the stick blender, the thicker it's going to get. And I want it to stay perfect just the way it is. So that is a beautiful color. So I want to make sure that all of the purple is up from the bottom, all the mica. Love that. The gray. I'm excited to use a gray. I've not put a gray in my soap yet. This one's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. I'm thinking I might add some more to that. It's a very pretty light, steely gray. Put a little bit more in there. And I don't know where my little tiny spoon went. There it is. Put a little bit more in there. I'll mix this up. I will especially have to hit this with the stick blender. See what I can do by hand here, but I'm going to have to hit it with the stick blender, which is fine. Which is fine. Guess I should have had some music playing in the background. Perfect. All right, that I will hit with a stick blender. This one is just beautiful. I'm hoping it stays this color. Yes. So for me, this soap making process is good quiet time. I tend to overthink everything, and this actually helps bring my brain back center. Look at these two colors together. I love that. Love that. All right, the last one over here is my little titanium dioxide, which I fully expect to thicken up on me. Beautiful, beautiful white color. Make sure that I get everything out of here. Scraping everywhere. All right, so I am now going to put my bowl here so that I can put all my spoons in it, and I'm going to hit them a little bit with the stick blender. Happy with the colors. Oh, before I do that, let me put in a little bit of the fragrance oil. Hopefully this does not thicken everything. Oh my God, that smells so good. Again, I'm going to do it very quickly, make sure everything is zhuzhed. I don't have anything doing an instant thicken, which is good. I've actually had a batch that went almost solid immediately when I put the fragrance oil in it. And I don't remember what fragrance oil it was. And I really should try to remember because I don't ever want to use that one again. It literally just seized right up. All right. So let me take all these out. Make as big of a mess as possible. I'm going to zhuzh these. I'm going to go from lightest to darkest so I don't have to keep changing up. So white, gray, these are a toss-up, and I'm going to do the purple, the pink last. All right, so stick blender back in. Tap, tap. Zhuzh, zhuzh. Make sure everything in here is blended. Perfect. Into the gray. I still see white in here, so let me do this again. Titanium dioxide is a bugger. All right. Again, it's really liquid. That's exactly what I want. Moving on to the gray. Tap, tap. Awesome. Into the, I'm going to call this lavender or what. In we go. Get the bubbles out. Zhuzh it up. Awesome. Last one is this beautiful color. Fragrance is heavenly. All right, so let me now get this out of the way. I'm going to scrape out this so we don't waste any. That was a pretty big sigh. All right, get this put off to the side. All right, so here's my plan. I do think about my designs quite a bit. These put off to the side here. I am going to, in a thin line, stripe this in over and over and over until the mold is filled. Right down the center, so that we have a gorgeous design at the end. So I'm going to start with the white. I love that this is so liquid. It was the non-straightest line ever. What do we want to put next to that? I think we'll put the pink next. So let me see if I can... All right, you're just going to give me a hard time, aren't you? Cover. Cover. Okay. I am so psyched. This is the first time that I've used this big mold since I've gotten it. Super. Next color. And this is the first recipe that I found that has stayed liquid long enough for me to do something like this. You guys get to witness it. Yay! All right. Next color. So as the colors go in, it's going to push the colors out. And these should lay on top of each other very nicely. Start. And I am very surprised that my white is still liquid. I guess it was my recipe to begin with and not so much everything I was thinking. I have so much to learn. Perfect. Maybe kind of like a psychedelic colors, I guess. So once this is poured, I will cover the top. I have a piece of cardboard that I'm going to cover the top with, and then I'm going to wrap it all up in towels. Because this is still going to be cooking, processing for a while, I really want to make sure that it goes through the gel phase. It's going to keep the colors brighter. These will all dullen down just a little bit as it hardens up. Yes, I'm just going to lay that right there. But it's going to, in the end, be awesome. Hoping that my camera is set up so you can see this, because this is actually working so well. Oops. Straightest, crookedest line ever. So once it goes through the gel phase, I will let this sit for at least 24 hours. You can see this gray is starting to thicken up a little, which it will over time. At least 24 hours before I try to pull it out of the mold. And then before I cut it, I may have it sit a little bit longer, just to make sure, because it's got so many soft oils in it, that it has time to harden up before I try to pull it out of the mold. How are we doing here? Oh, white is still perfect. And then once it is out and cut, the soap will sit on my curing racks for 8 weeks before it will be ready to be used. And I'm not quite sure how many bars of this that I will get out of it. Let's see if we can combine this a little bit and keep it a little more liquid. Perfect. Must be because I have the video on that this is just coming out better than expected. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and that helps me plan my designs. Sometimes I have a really hard time trying to figure out what kind of design I want to do, what I want to make. And most of the time, again, because I overthink everything, I have too many designs in my head and I can't pick one. I like plain soaps, I like solid soaps, but I love the swirled ones as well. Pouring these a little bit higher to make sure that it kind of gets down there. And I'm going to end up scraping pretty soon. But this has been better than I have expected. One more stripe out of this one. Alright, so I'm not going to do any swirls with it. I'm not going to get in there and try to make anything more than it already is. I'm literally going to scrape these others that I have, all of these. I'm just going to put it right on the top here. Fancy on the top. And then I'm going to let this sit for a bit. And then I'm going to come down and try to put a little bit of a textured top on it. Awesome. I'm going to try to end with the white. I pour well with my left hand. All right, not bad. All this goodness out of here. And then while I'm waiting for it to harden up, I'll probably go up and wipe these out. But I am excited to know that I finally found a recipe that will stay liquid. There are so many swirls and drop swirls and spin swirls that I want to do. Different color combination. Oh, there I go, overthinking again. Right, I'm going to swap hands with this so that I can get right in here and jiggle. Loving it. A lefty I am not. Alrighty, now, I do want to clean this up a little here. I am thrilled with how this came out. I'm just going to take it and bang it to make sure that all of the bubbles are out. Sorry, I know I'm making the camera shake. But this is perfect. So thanks for watching. I will bring you back when I go to unmold this and set it out and cut it. But for now, thanks for watching.